Hello everybody, my name is Troublemaker. This is the Wargame Cup 2012, and we have a nice little match today. Representing the blue color, playing the pact, is ak47chris. And his opponent, also playing as pact, but this time with red, is Elukka. Now both of these players have really evaded me in the tournament. I know Elukka is quite good, I know that. I don't really know much about ak47chris, but he did get into round 7, which is the final 16. So he has to be good enough. Now, how good is he? Hard to say, but both these players have really evaded my attention up until this point. And we'll have to see what they have in mind. For Elukka, looks like we're seeing some pretty standardized stuff here. He's got a transport helicopter with a recon. And maybe he'll try and dump these at here, or maybe he'll dump them at his own base just for defensive. And he's got some of these T-64As. These, of course, are very, very long-range tanks, and generally speaking, they make for really good snipers. And by sniper, I mean long-distance firing mechanism. And whoa, did I just see what I think I saw? I saw Dana move up into a weird position here by Chris. And Chris is going to come around the back flank as well with a small collection of units. He's using a lot of these anti-aircraft infantry, which do have some benefit. Looks like there's going to be a Grenza here with some Mott shoots to greet them, however, so this flank has been largely thwarted. And, well, not really thwarted. I mean, there's really not enough units here for Elukka to really defend against this. So it looks like ak47chris will secure these towns. Yeah. What is the... I don't even know what the real advantage of this town is, to be truth be told. Because it doesn't really seem to do anything. Maybe I'm just not seeing this right. But yes, ak47chris has actually put a pretty sizable investment in this position. He has Conkers here out in the open, and that is just enough to snipe these spews out. And he's also brought some Colos here to restock these Conkers as they fire. So this will most definitely be a position for the game. In fact, I kind of see the value of this now these Conkers are here, because the Conkers could actually move across a very wide terrain and can actually hit into this location. Well, that's not a viable location. Where's the viable location? I just don't see it. Oh, you know what? Ha ha ha, woe is me. I see it now. I see it. This is the location. I scatterbrained. This echolocation is the location that, generally speaking, our red pack player would put a command armor here for a faster rally point and the 2-point. And then he'd go for Delta. However, our Schneid player has gone for Delta himself. However, since his opponent did not go for that position, he's fine. And you know, Elukka did basically the same thing. He has 10 VPCUs here, basically doing the exact same thing. So pretty well mirrored plays. Players basically looking at the map and saying, like, how can I get an early lead? And they both did the exact same thing. So I scatterbrained, but I get it now. I get it. This is kind of the thinking that you do at a metagame level, is to say, I know what you're going to do, so I'm going to beat you to it, and you both do the exact same thing because you both realize you're both going to do the exact same thing. So interestingly enough, ak47chris has 2 T-80 tanks, which is very bizarre, very hard to really use these tanks effectively as anything other than snipers. And looks like Elukka's going to make a small move. Basically, his hand's enforced. The Danas are flushing him out, so he's going to go ahead and rush these infantry forward, and could be quite effective here. But there are some Zalas here, which will get rid of the SPO 60 PBs, and yeah, that'll very much marginalize this push. And in fact, with the infantry, there's really not much he's going to be able to do here. The Motostrelki doing quite a bit of damage to themselves, and yeah, it looks like artillery is just going to clean this up. And I always basically advocate having 1 artillery at every single loadout, just because 1 artillery does pretty well. Whoa, T-64 actually going to join the fray and try and do some damage against the Mott Schützens. And it's only 1 T-64, but it's just enough to make Monsieur ak47chris run into the woods in total fear. Now it looks like these Zalos are going to get rallied in to try and take out the T-64A. This unit, of course, like, it's not as expensive as a T-80, which is, I think, 80? No, it's 90. But it is quite an expensive unit compared to most of what's on the map. So if the Zalos could actually kill this, that'd be pretty huge. And it would be enough to give him a very, very significant lead. And he's getting some pretty good shots off, and he's actually leveled up from that. But with the supply truck there, it looks like this T-64A will survive, and he's able to just kind of maneuver out. All the while, these woods are on fire, and somehow these men are mostly still alive. Slowest motion death by fire possible. One helicopter goes down, and the other transfer helicopter should go down relatively soon, but oh no, just runs out of rockets, just in the nick of time. As this one transfer helicopter looks like he's still going to try and go to his death, though. I mean, he still has some rockets in here. He's going to run it off to the colo, though. And this might be a small misplay. The helicopter might get some easy pot shots off that would have otherwise not gotten. Here we go. Actually, there's a Prizik Igla here with the Igla rocket, and he should be able to knock down. He's got half the health knocked down on this transfer helicopter. Only really needs one more good shot, and the helicopter does get away. So, a fairly slow-paced game, but oh my god, we have two Zalos going to rush in the woods. This is kind of a ballsy move, because especially when you don't really know what's there. You don't know anything. When that happens, it's very scary. He does know there's a T-64A, so he's going to rush his Zalos in. And if he can snipe that T-64A, that would be absolutely huge, especially using these tank destroyer prototypes. And it looks like he's, in fact, going to get the kill. He's moved in the range. The T-64 is trying to back off him. The Zalos are going to continue chasing. And huge play. Almost has him down 2 more hit points. There's a T-64 BM moving from the side and actually able to completely save the day with only 2 hit points available for this unit. And this very long-range battle is going to happen right now. The T-80s versus the T-64s. In this battle, the T-64s have a fairly significant advantage due to their larger range. The T-80 does go down, and suddenly Elukka is not looking so bad. He's about 30 points behind. And pretty much he's losing right now to artillery fire. A constant stream of artillery fire. However, artillery fire requires supply, and once this FOB is drained, or if it ever gets drained, that will cause a situation where ak47chris will actually have to make some real moves and some real tactics, which he hasn't been using, and looks like he's going to get a lot of infantry and might be gearing up for an infantry push. Infantry pushes have a varying degree of success. When the tank numbers are small, these kind of pushes do very well, and that's exactly what it is right now. Low tank numbers, and there's really not a lot of infantry here. And truthfully, looking at Elukka's build out right now, he kind of needs some of those cheapy T-55s. And here comes the T-80. Looks like he's going to be able to snipe a T-64 for pretty relatively cheap. VPZU going to chase down the Jalo. And he's going to reposition himself. And oh my god, he's going to kill it. It's just completely misplaced. Really not suited for urban combat. And might get away still. Oh god, no, it doesn't get away. And what do we have going on here? We have a VPZU for ak47chris going to fire on the T-64. The infantry rush didn't happen, it's just one infantry. Here comes the T-64, it dies. The T-64 died to a VPZU, that's kind of embarrassing. ak47chris significant lead now, has a 70-point victory. And he's going to move in with more infantry, even more infantry. And with the support of this VPZU, he'll have some very significant vision. All the while, a T-64 is trying to snipe from the side, but really just not enough tanks to deal with this. He would need a small legion of T-55s, just have the firepower to take out these infantry carriers or, you know, tank destroyers. And he's going to get into the woods. All the while, it looks like there is a multi-rocket launcher out here for Elukka. It's a Smirch, actually. And boom, they are deployed. The SPU 60 PBs are out of position. This is going to give an opportunity for an inferior number of motor jockeys to defeat a superior number of infantry carriers and infantry. And with the Dana supporting, this should be a pretty knockout victory for Mr. ak47chris. An odd little anti-aircraft gun positioned to the side here. Just odd because it looks like he's going to lose his position. But whoa, we have it winding up. What's it going for? It's going for the anti-tank gun helicopter. Dear lord. One more hit and this thing is dead. Where did Iosa go? It looks like it just died. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So, also, it appears that finally AK47chris is going to take this location out. He's been very busy trying to regain this position. In fact, he's gotten rid of, wait, no, this is AK47chris's command armor. He is a madman, and I see what he's doing here. I see what he's doing. He takes his command from Alpha, he moved it all the way here. I've actually seen this already. We saw this in the last game, and now he's going to have a great advancing position. He can actually move and attack Golf location, and he has a flanking position as well. So very, very close reinforcement path, and able to rally in 4 more infantry just to finish off these Mott-Schutzens. Rocket fire going to peel on this location, doesn't really hit anything. But, whoa, did get a nice little shot off of that ZSU 57-2. That is a mouthful. Okay, I thought the command armor died there. I have had a bad habit this entire tournament of just missing key command armor kills. And all the while, small little skirmishes kind of happening everywhere. People trying to inch wherever they can. It looks like this spoof should get cleaned up. I mean, there's no good reason for this combination of units to lose, but I mean, if Elukka actually micros this backwards, he might be able to save it. But no, the T-55s will come in. 4 T-55s back. There's a Grenzer here, and the Grenzer are going to do some ungodly damage to these T-55s. It's actually in the reinforcement line right now, so it's going to be able to get a lot of free pot shots that were really not designated for it. All the while, AK47chris making small pushes forward using infantry, and really using some great tactics to his advantage. And Elukka really has to come up with a solution to this. These Conquerors might get sniped by the Grenzer. The Grenzer are actually running out of anti-tank rockets. So, its use might dwindle very soon. All the while, there's a small little push here, but it looks like AK47chris is going to micro this backwards and not let this Scott carrier get in range of anything, because this is all very valuable stuff, especially this Tunguska. That's like an 80-point vehicle. The T-80 is a 90-point. It's also running out of fuel, so I mean, I said Kari, not so dangerous anymore. Used to be considered quite overpowered. And so you have a small legion of T-55s and Conquerors, and this is a good point to pause and talk about this cheap combination that is seemingly pointless. And it's quite simple. We go to the T-55s. Well, note the T-55 is worth 15 points. So that's 4 shots. That's 8 shots. 8 times, that's 120 points basically of units right here. The UAZ Conquerors are worth 20 and 40, however, do insanely high damage and have very good range. If you can rush the T-55s forward and provide vision for the Conquerors, you could potentially hit something very, very valuable. For example, these T-64s, or there's really not actually that much to defend this. There is a transport helicopter, good on Elukka, but I mean, it won't be too long before stuff gets rallied. Look at this, he brings a Kolos across the bay, looking to try and resupply his Grenzer so that it can survive just a little bit longer. The Kolos is immediately wiped out, however, and the Grenzers will go down. And, whoa, we have some multi-rockets just missing slightly these T-55s. And now here comes a flanking maneuver. And this is not one he's going to like at all. There are some Moto Strelikies in the woods here. Not too many anymore, but they will be a nice position to support. And the T-55s are moving forward. They're starting to wind up. Looks like they're going to try and target down the T-64. Are they really that close in range? Oh my god. And now he's just chasing it down. It's a very efficient trade with these T-55s. The Conqueror has to get into a good position where it can fire some rockets. Here comes the first 2. Will they connect? That's the question. And looks like they hit something. Maybe some of those SPOs. UAZ Conqueror's going to wind up again. Nope. Moves at a range. And Moto Strelkies are clearing at this woods location as the T-55s continue to chase down these T-64s. And looks like you're trying to find a cover location. All the while the Conquerors are going to pull back. And T-55s have killed 1 of these tanks. Was it worthwhile? Good question. The answer is very much yes. It's an 80-point tank that was killed off for 4 T-55s. It's not bad. He might be able to get the other one, which would be pretty significant. As well, we see that we have a defense by Elukka, bringing in some some Mott-Schutzens into the woods with some spoos. He's going to pull up the spoos, though, to support this. Otherwise, it's going to be a very imbalanced battle. The Moto Strelkies are going to try and pull back behind the BTR-65, which is already quite injured. The mod shooters should very easily clean this up. There goes the BTR-60 and Moto Stroke. Goodbye. So, I mean, it's tooth and claw right now for Elukka. And he's in this awkward kind of situation where, yeah, he does have a command armor here, a nice high point location that will probably never get attacked. But his reinforcement point is the one that's under attack, and if he loses that, he is in trouble. And it's not just because, like, a lot of valuable units here. It's because that will open up his opponent's ability to toss out a bunch of helicopters and end it. And the Conqueror is getting some shots off at something. It looks like the recon vehicle. And of course the Conquerors are out, so they will need some supply truck. Like these colos. Colos. And back to creating flanks. And so there has to be a new game plan coming out for Elukka. Looks like he's going to go for a lot of these SPU 40 PV recons, wanting to get maximum vision. And looking at his vision, he doesn't actually see that much. And it's often argued that the recon is not really powerful enough because it doesn't give you enough information to make an educated attack. And he really just wants to finish off his tank. He actually purchased an anti-tank gun helicopter to just go finish it off. And now he's going to push up with some T-55s, try to clear this Igla and get his transport helicopter away. And he will be successful with this. I mean, there's nowhere for that Igla to go. He's completely lost his hotel location. He's completely backed into a corner now. And he has to consolidate and do something. Something big. So far, AK47chris has just been really chopping him into pieces. It's almost double the score now, and we're getting to basically the mid game, the part where both players have to start rethinking strategies and deploying units of differing powers. And what's this you all doing? It's a fully okay. It's on the move fast command. It's not so weird. And 9 Moto Strelsies going to get decimated. Yeah, they should get decimated. Mott Schützens gonna get. Oh my god, he just got a free anti-aircraft vehicle. All while it's UAZ 469, no weaponry on that bad boy. It's just a lot of small exchanges right now. All the while T-80 moved up to the front. Going to be a mistake, I can tell you right off the bat. Here comes a helicopter, come pick that off, and you just realize this is a very high-powered vehicle. But whoa, lots of anti-aircraft actually able to deal a stinging blow to the aircraft of Elukka. And AK47chris is looking very good. Like he's going to go on. However, Mott Schützens versus T-55, this is going to be a battle of the not ages as the T-55s completely get obliterated by these Mott Schützens and unable to really secure this very key city location. It's key because it's quite the crossroads. Like it leads in every single direction, and that means that you won't be able to use the move fast command, which is very key in a lot of battles. And also he's going to lose these Moto Stirlokis here. So now we're about still 400 points difference. And it looks like we're going to see a little bit of a cheesy McCheesy play from Elukka. Going to try and go for some Spetsnaz skills. How prepared is AK47chris? He does have some topazes on the map. There's a PPZU here just kind of like bumbling around, kind of weird. And there's a recon helicopter back here, so he shouldn't be caught too off guard by this. It shouldn't be too shocking. However, it's a pretty sizable investment. It looks like we're seeing AK47chris just slowly moving up with very, very long distance tanks. And here we go. Did he spot that? He didn't. And I don't know where they're going, but they're out of fuel. How embarrassing. Well, they're almost out of fuel. Here comes 2 colos. Don't lose just the colos, man. That would be too embarrassing. And actually pulling back some infantry to deal with something. It looks like you're just gonna run away, are you? Okay, nothing happened there. But here we go. What? He just lost both of them, and now he's really backed into his base. And I mean, if he can do enough damage here, he can still win. But it's just not looking good. There are just way too many units on the map right now for AK47chris to even have to worry. Even the T-80s here are just getting some really great pot shots with it, using the fire position command on these Iglas. And he might be able to might be able to create a killing blow here. If he can secure Gaul, he can win the entire game. And there's only 8 minutes left, so something has to happen soon. It is now an 800-point lead for AK47chris. And here comes some Zalos from Elukka, just sniping like a madman. You usually don't see these late in the game because you usually use them all in the early game. And a big giant squad of Isakar. We've seen an immediate pullback actually from AK47chris. He's rallying in a lot of infantry. That is the right choice considering the amount of tank destroyers on the map. The T-80 actually pulling back, and are you kidding me? It's now 300-point difference, 5 minutes left in the game. Zalos versus Zalos, T-62 and T-80U. There's too many high-point vehicles here. And AK47chris, 300 points ahead now. Infantry in the woods, actually going to kill off his Visakari squad. There's still 4 minutes left. And we've gone from an 800-point lead to a 300-point lead. A very successful crushing push from Elukka. And now he's rallying out a lot of these T-62s. I sense magic in the air, as he might be able to do some maddening stuff with this. All the while from... Whoa, what just happened? What the hell just happened? Are you... Let's check that out again.